Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, you all know that we have a special treat tonight. We're going to ask some questions of the original members of the club. Most of us have enough trouble just getting up the nerve to go to a Toastmasters meeting. These people started one from scratch. I'll just fire out some questions and any one of you can take the questions as you want. I'm sorry, we have Debi Sigris. Sigris, sorry. Pat Canoe, Lark, and if you was here, Rob. So that's your cast of characters. Take us back to the summer of 1990. What was your vision? What was the impetus? What was the void that today Toastmasters is going to fill?
Well, actually, it started August 28th of 1989. So we were not the original charter members, but Roger Storr was. And they evidently had a need for public speaking in the Church of Today, where it started, Church of Today, Today Toastmasters. So they started they chartered April 28th, 1989, and wanted to follow the mission of Toastmasters International to provide a safe place where you could come and practice your public speaking and leadership skills.
Do you think you've accomplished that goal?
Well, we are continuously learning. You can tell by the fact that we're still in this organization. So, yeah, we haven't gotten it right yet, but we keep pursuing it. Yes.
You're very humble. You tell us what you've accomplished, which is beyond probably what you'd expected when you started the club.
Absolutely. So in Toastmasters, we either work on our communication or our leadership skills or both. Now, this gentleman perfected communication skills. He was a perfect speaker before he started out in Toastmasters. No, he was an excellent speaker. Of course, brilliant speaker, excellent speaker. Yeah. But he worked on his communication skills. And because he did that, I knew better than to do that. So I worked on my leadership skills and took the leadership track so that I didn't have to worry about competing against the best communicator in the world. Although this guy did pretty well against him.
He's very quick-witted. Can you tell us what your role is now in Toastmasters International?
Yes. So I've had the privilege now, I am serving as the first vice president of Toastmasters International. But I started out as the club secretary at Today Toastmasters, went through all of the different club roles, then went through district roles, the region role, and served as an international director. And currently I'm on the second rung of the ladder of the executive committee. Second vice president, first vice president, president-elect, president, and immediate past president. So I'm on the second rung as your first vice president, and honored to be there.
What would you say is the most difficult thing about starting a club? What was the toughest obstacle that you had to overcome?
Well, I didn't start this one, but I did, while I was a member of this club, started a club at where I work, the Department of Public Safety, because Lark asked me to. I forgot what leadership role you were in, either area or
I was district governor at the time.
And one of the goals was to form new clubs, and it was approaching the end of the Toastmaster year, and she asked nicely if I could form a club in what, 4 weeks?
Yes.
Yes, so we formed a club at where I work in 4 weeks, which is pretty much unheard of. We had a demonstration meeting and we chartered by the second meeting and had all the paperwork in. And so the only difficult thing that I found as far as forming that club was meeting Lark's deadline. But most folks don't have that issue because everyone feels the need to improve, or a lot of folks feel the need to improve their communication skills. So if you can provide the environment, a lot of folks will just join.
We didn't have a word of the day today, but there is a word in Toastmasters whenever we run shorthanded. It's called voluntold. Explain what that means. What would you say the easiest thing about running the club?
The volunteers. It takes volunteers to run a club, from the club officers to assistants in the clubs, as we have here, the mentors, and of course the club members.
What is the major difference then and now as far as getting new members?
Social media. websites.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it was all word of mouth, or post flyers somewhere trying to twist people's arm to come to the meetings, or bring a friend or a relative and just spread it out that way. Now there's this computer age.
I've heard something about that.
Yeah, it's an incredible tool.
What advice would you give to anyone who's contemplating starting the club?
Have Pat Canoe teach you how to do it.
Read the manual like Pat Canoe did.
Yeah.
Read the manual on how to do it. Yeah.
You do need to have 20 interested people, and certainly it's better to have 30 or 40 interested individuals. But as Debbie pointed out, everyone can gain value by improving their communication skills. We communicate by our thumbs, we communicate by our body language, by our voice, and everyone can get better at communicating. And once you do that, you can become a better leader. So everyone can use the skills that we teach in Toastmasters, and it's a matter of getting that group of people together and then encouraging them to form an organization where they can support one another in doing that.
You brought up a valid point. We have a video on our website already about somebody who's going through their second DTM. I've met some people who have gone through it something like 8 times, which sounds irrational when you first hear about it. It's like getting your 8th PhD. But you brought up something which is that it's kind of like golf or some other things. It's like a lifetime sport. You don't want to fall behind, right?
Right. Well,
So
it's like
have you done the DTM
eating
thing one
healthy
time?
foods.
Or
Yes.
2? Or
I actually have gone through the leadership track, starting from the beginning and going all the way through. So I have enough to have multiple distinguished Toastmasters. What I prefer to do is to support others in achieving their distinguished Toastmasters. However, I do want to tell everyone that with the new Pathways educational program that is coming forward, we all had the opportunity to gain a different type of distinguished Toastmaster award through the Pathways program, and I hope everyone will take the opportunity to do that, no matter where they are in their program.
And I understand it will become active in this district in 2018 sometime?
That would, yes,
Roughly.
according to our trajectory, I think that that's reasonable to say, yeah. Don't know exactly when, obviously, but we have started launching Pathways in Region 14 now, and we will begin launching it throughout the world after Region 14 has achieved success with it. We'll go to other regions, and we're trying to do 2 regions every time we launch it from this state forward.
I've heard bits and pieces, but I hear there's a lot of room for customization for the
Absolutely.
individual.
There is.
Anything else anybody would like to add?
You can't say no to this woman. She's brilliant, absolutely. She praises you to success. And you just can't say no, except for Steve Seigers, my husband, did one time. She called him at work and said, "Steve, do you have a minute?" And he said no. That's the first time anyone has said no to Lark Debi.
I just encourage everyone to take advantage of all that Toastmasters has to offer. Every communication designation award certificate, every leadership award certificate. Take advantage of every single opportunity this organization has to offer, and start a Toastmasters chapter within your organization, within your company, if there isn't one. And if you go to other countries, we've had individuals who have literally gone to other countries and have supported Toastmasters clubs forming in other countries. So if you have an opportunity to visit, you're there for a month, start a club. Pat can show you how to do it.
Yeah, and one thing with the starting of the club, and I should have said it earlier, is I had a whole lot of help around the district. That's one good thing about this district, and I'm sure it's all true for the other districts, is you could ask any experienced member and they will join in. They helped me put on the demo meeting and build up the membership, and showed me a number of things that I wasn't aware of at that time, and they've always been willing to help.
Yeah, so there's the leadership structure. So from the club, there's area directors. They support the clubs. Division directors support the areas. And then you have district leaders, the club growth director, program quality director, district director, public relations manager, and so many different levels of support within the organization. And they're all there to support every single club and to support new clubs in chartering.
Right. We have a blog post, and I call it Toastmasters Lowerarchy. And it's like the inverted pyramid where the officers are down at the bottom, I shouldn't say bottom, but supporting everyone else. So,
Absolutely.
thank you for taking the time to visit us tonight. That's our show. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.